Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I got some Mandalorians in front of me. I got the Mandalorian from the TV series. I got the Bo-Katan figure from the TV series. I got my custom Cobb Vanth, who is supposed to be wearing Boba Fett's old armor. And I got my custom Mandalorian Boba Fett with the removable helmet. Take a closer look at that face if you want. I'm going to stick him in the back there. And today, we're going to talk about this Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Cool to see his last movie screen armor or whatever. Of course, we did have Jango Fett showing up in the prequel series, but this is about this guy right here. He looks pretty cool, comes with a whole bunch of accessories. He's kind of new. He's maybe a little bit ahead of his time since this is a Return of the Jedi figure. So what we want to do is we want to take a closer look at this figure, and what I want to do here is bring out my Boba Fett that I've had in my collection for a while, and so we can compare him to that one. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll bring out my Comic-Con Boba Fett too, stand him next to there, because he was actually painted like the original figure. So let's open this Boba Fett up and take a closer look. Now, he does have this really cool side art on there, and that's a great pose. This is kind of how we might have seen him in Jabba's palace. So what I thought was kind of interesting is that you have this piece that goes on top of the jetpack like this, which is actually kind of cool. So if you wanted to pretend like you were firing that rocket off, it would fire off, and I mean, it doesn't come out of there, but that's kind of a really cool effect. Okay, now that we got Boba Fett out of the package, let's just take a closer look at him. He looks actually kind of cool. So we're going to take a closer look at that helmet. That does look good. You know what? I'm really, really happy that they did that gloss on the glass. I think it makes that helmet just look awesome. The other thing about this helmet that I really like is that scope piece really works. So that's actually really cool. So one of the things I wanted to point out really quickly, because it's probably going to fall off during the review, is if you look up under the helmet, there's an extra head. And I took some time prying off the helmet, and I know I kind of mangled the head up a little bit, but this is the same head that's basically underneath the Remnant Stormtroopers, which is basically the same head that I used when I did this custom figure. So it tells me that they've gotten this figure ready, and he's all set to become this Boba Fett from The Mandalorian. Because it's not going to take very much for them to just basically paint the legs, paint the body, paint up the head, give him the helmet, right, that goes on and off, and just give him like a nice shiny like helmet and fix up that armor. So he can be so this head and this body is all ready to go. So the other thing too is these pieces are attached to the top. Now this armor piece right here could easily be cut and taken off because it's basically just on top of a new body mold. And you can tell because inside there you got that butterfly joint. You got the arms that have the pinless technology. You have the legs that have the pinless technology also. And this piece is attached to the upper leg. The other cool thing about this is this belt right here is actually free-flowing, so it actually doesn't attach to the body. And then he's got this like little nice little strap piece down here. I think what they did here is pretty decent with the armor. It's a little bit darker, the green, than the Empire Strikes Back one, and the damage that they've done on here is reminiscent of how he would have looked in Return of the Jedi. So it looks pretty good. He's got his sawed-off rifle here, And then because it's a deluxe figure, he also comes with this blaster here, which is like cut in two and comes apart. That's because we know Luke chops that thing up. He also has this piece that clicks conveniently on his wrist here. Basically, like, he just fires that off and he's got a little bit of a string. So it does come with these two flame pieces, and I've seen people using like the flames that they got for their Marvel Legends, so it's great to have these in a Black Series set. So the jetpack looks like it's getting ready to like lift him off the ground. That is actually really, really cool. So he can go flying around like that, which is pretty neat. And if he needed to, they have already perfected this flame throwing technology with that Flame Trooper, the one that was in The Mandalorian 2, and you just click that onto that little piece there. And Boba Fett has his own flamethrower right out of his arm. That would have been a really cool feature to have on The Mandalorian, since he used that a lot in the show. But it doesn't matter because we got it on the Boba Fett, and Mando could probably borrow that flame. We just got to figure out some way to get that on his arm. So this is a pretty cool set. Comes with quite a few extras. I really like that about it. And I like the fact that it's got that secret head underneath, which makes me believe there's a older Boba Fett from The Mandalorian in our future. So here we go. Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we just want to set these two figures up right next to each other in the screen and just take a look at how they're a little bit different. Now, the one thing that I did notice about these two right away is the green is a little bit darker on this guy, and that little dent in the helmet is just a little bit different. Of course, this has got the orange stripes on the helmet, which is more indicative of the Return of the Jedi, but pretty much it looks pretty good. The cool thing about it is this belt right here on the Empire version, these flaps are kind of like always get in the way, and on this one you got like all these pieces that go all the way across all the little pockets, and then those pieces are down there. So you do have that same sash, but this one is much redder, and this one's like a little bit more, it got more of a brown in there. Then we get to the pants with the pockets. These pants actually just look more like pants, like those pockets actually look more like they were just pockets filled with stuff. And then you get down here to the legs, and he's still got the same tools sticking out of his lower legs, which is kind of cool. And then you got the feet. Right, so here's the backs of them. The other thing that I thought is kind of interesting is that if you look at the backs of these like belts right here, these buckles are painted and the one on the Return of the Jedi is not. And it's kind of funny because, to me, because if you ever found a bootleg Boba Fett somewhere, he would come like this and those buckles wouldn't have been painted. That's how you know that the figure was a bootleg to begin with. And that's one of the indicators. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they didn't paint the buckles on the official release of the Return of the Jedi one. And they just left it like that. Of course, the blasters are much different. And I guess you're going to have to pick which Boba Fett you like based on the movie. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was I noticed that a lot of people were getting like the squished helmet look, and I can see that happening. And one of the reasons I think that is the case, because as you know, I pulled the helmet off, there's a whole lot of glue that they used to try to hold that head on in the helmet. And I think what happened was they actually put it down onto the face. So I think that glue was holding the helmet in a squished formation. So even like heating it up wasn't really going to make that much of a difference, because it needed to be freed from some of the edging around the head to be able to get that helmet to be able to expand. So if you're having that squishing problem, don't stick anything sharp in there, but like maybe like a really small flat screwdriver, and you could just go around the inside of the head and maybe break a little bit of that glue free. I don't recommend digging around too much unless you're very comfortable doing it because I feel like I really mangled up his face. I'm going to have to do some sanding if I want to paint that. And the helmet just comes off super easy now, right? Which is okay, but I don't really like it that much that it does that, so I'm going to have to figure out a fix. So that glue was important to keeping the helmet on, but as you can see, I don't think I have that squished look on the helmet anymore, and I think it's because I freed it from the glue and it's had an opportunity to like open up and kind of take on its own shape. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I think that they did a really good job on the figure. In the box, I wasn't so sure in the beginning, but once I got it out and I saw the articulation and I'm actually holding the figure, I actually have grown to really appreciate a lot of the updates they made, especially because this is a deluxe figure. Thanks for watching the review, everybody. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel, watch some other videos, and have a great day.